Welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. This weekend I'm going to finish up this drop tank for the Nova, for the aluminum gas tank to go into the trunk. I want to get this finished up so that I can get at least the pan into the trunk and start steam cleaning this engine compartment and painting. Anyway, that's what we're doing today, is we're working on this this drop tank. So stay tuned and we'll get going on this project. So I've gone to a different method for attaching the sides to the metal. First, I was tacking it on with the TIG welder, and it's very tedious and time-consuming. So I've changed it to using rivets. Now on the rivets, I'm using a little bit longer one than normal. Whoop, come back here. A couple reasons for that. Number one, I use washers with them, and so they mushroom out, and then what I'll do is once it comes down to where it's tight, this collar will move farther into about right there. I'll come in and I'll cut off the excess here, but still leave a little bit, leave a little bit on there, and then I take my dolly and hammer and I pound them flat. So to show you, kind of give you an example of that, this particular one. So on this end, I've got the rivets flush against the bottom. I've drilled the holes already for it. Seems to work a lot better. It's a lot tighter. Things are a lot better. The heat warps the metal. But what I do is I hammer it out. And if you look at the ones that are hammered out, they're nice and flat. Same with the bottom ones. Still have to hammer a few of them out, but it definitely makes it a lot easier and a lot stronger, and I don't have to play with the welder as much. These are aluminum rivets, so I don't ever have to worry about them rusting, so that's a good thing. But as I'm going through, I'm just clamping as I go so that the metal stays nice and tight up against it. Gets a little bit loose, but not too bad, and that's all going to be seam sealed anyway, so it won't make any difference. That's kind of to show you how I'm doing it. And once I hammer one out, which I'm going to probably do these next couple, I'll show you how I do it. And all those welds are going to be ground off. It's one of the things that you learn in life as you weld is a grinder makes everybody a great welder. I still got to clean up this other side. It's pretty bad. I was using the MIG welder, and it was driving me insane because it doesn't want to give me a nice clean weld, mainly because it's the buzz box and it doesn't have the ability to, or I should say, you don't have the ability to adjust your temperature. It's kind of one for all for one kind of thing. Just hold your washer on, give her a squeeze or two. It in. One of these days I'm going to have to get me an air powered or electric powered one. Make life simple. As you'll see, it'll start pulling up here very shortly. Watch your washer so it doesn't fall off. Make sure you're pushing it all the way in on your rivet gun. And what you'll start doing is sucking up inside there. Washer flush. And you can see it getting bigger as it's going down. And as soon as she grabs hold of that washer, she'll break loose. And you can tell when you're close, because boy, does it get tough. Then you got your extra piece off of here. And get it out of there. Keep a pair of needle nose handy always. I don't know, save aluminum. And like I say, I just take my dolly and put it on the back side. Well, first I cut off the excess. Sorry about that. I'll cut off the excess because the collar is way down here. So I can cut off about half of that without any trouble whatsoever. Because it's just basically a big aluminum thing, and you get a nice flat area there. Put your dolly up against the other side. And I know I could buy the smaller rivets, but I like this because it gives me more it allows you to get that sucker nice and tight, and you got a nice nice area there. And this sucker is definitely tight now. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. I'm going to move you back a little bit. I'm just going to go to town. I'll speed you up so you don't have to watch every single one of them. But you'll kind of see how I'm doing it along here. I have to put in the side as I go. Like that side's loose, so I'll have to put in that side before I start tightening down the ends. And like I said, I still have to grind this side off. I still have to do a few of these rivets, clean them up. But for the most part, that's kind of how I do them. So I've always done them. I like the extra. You know, you can get the shorter ones, but I like the bigger ones, and I like to just cut them off. I've got a couple over here on the side that I was using just to hold it in place. I'm going to cut those, or I'll actually re-drill them out, and then I'll put the washer in and hammer those down. Those are more for keeping everything in place while I put the rivets in the top and the bottom. And I've got rivets going in the side here, and then also going down on the inside to make sure that I get a really good solid fit. Like I said, I haven't figured out how I'm doing the battery on this thing yet, but I want to be able to do it later. So. What you doing there, bandit dog? The washer staying on. She is. But as I'm going through, I move back and forth, top side, and that's to keep everything nice and tight as I go, to make sure that it all stays on there right. I need a washer. It's really weird that some of them break funny. It doesn't get all of it. So I have to go back in there with the cutters and cut the heads off. I don't know why. They shouldn't do that. But it is what it is. There. Okay. We'll be picking up little tiny pieces of aluminum for a while. Okay. I think there was a little piece of the last one still in there. It slipped down. It slips down a little bit. Just take I take my pliers, I put it around it, and then I just tap it back up. That seems to be fine. Voila. Little junk on the edge of the metal, so get that off. Get me a little cleanup tool. But on the tight side there. I gotta go down first. mushroom slid down a little bit. That stays all the way to the top. Clippers. Hi, Troubles. There. You just snip a piece off of here. The only thing I don't like about this is the spinning head. It slipped down a little bit. say some folks may say the way that I do these is kind of unorthodox, but when I was doing the fiberglass fenders, when I did this and I hammered them in and everything, it made everything a lot tighter, and I didn't have to worry about anything being loose. Like right now, this thing is solid as a rock. Makes it really nice. So let me give you a different angle for a while. As you see, the shop dog's guarding the house. See, from this side, it's all nice and flush. Like I said, I'm going to run seam sealer around the whole thing. That way it's all smooth and it'll be painted and everything. Probably painted with the trunk stuff. I've got trunk spray, so big difference here. So, all right, let me get this one going here. Cut and hammer off this side and move to the next. And I put these in place so that I had something holding it while I riveted everything. Once I've got this thing started, it's pretty easy to go from there, but yeah. Say it's kind of an unorthodox way of doing it, but if you look across here, these have got nice and they're flush. The pins right on the other, right here. Basically, you're beating these two sides together and widening out the aluminum. It definitely seals a lot better. I have to grind these welds up, clean them up a little bit, but that kind of gives you the idea how things work. I have to go through and once I'm done here, and I'll have to pull everything off, and I'll do the bottom ones and hammer those all up. But that's kind of the process that I'm going to go through to do it. This is how I did the fenders on the steel, mainly because you're using fiberglass, and just running a rivet through fiberglass to hold it on, even though there's one every like couple of inches, an inch to 2 inches, it still has the ability to come loose with time. So I hammer these down, and you get a nice tight seal between the fiberglass and the metal, especially with the washers in place, because that kind of gives you the clamp that you need. And then with these flattened over, they're not coming out anytime soon. So definitely the way to do it, at least the way I think I want to do it. So that's going to kind of show you how this is getting put together. And I'll bring you back when I've got it all done and show you how it turned out. So I'll see you. For you, it'll be a couple of minutes. For me, it'll be a couple of hours. So just to come back real quick, I'm doing the other side. Just wanted to show you that I'm spacing them even of each other so that there's full coverage all the way across, and then they're offset to each other. So that definitely gives it a little bit more strength. Not to mention it looks a lot cleaner. That one's not all the way down, but that's kind of how I'm stitching the whole thing together. That side I didn't quite do it like this, mainly because those holes were already there. I kind of had to follow the holes that were there. But yeah, this is how it's going together now. So I'll bring you back when I'm done.